Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. I wanted to do a quick live before I leave. I didn't really prepare for this video, but I was relaxing and a lot of things started coming to me and I started researching like a freaking madwoman. When the moon is in Scorpio, we all want to dig deep. We want to see the things that are the unseen. Hello, and thank you for joining. So this is a quick video of what I have kind of been researching. I posted some stuff on my Facebook. So for all those that are super busy, maybe shopping for toilet paper or hand sanitizer, I wanted to do a video so it could be more on the go. You could listen while you drive. So I understand everyone is freaking out. They are scared, and that is completely natural. When things are being heightened, the flu has now turned into a disease, and it's now a pandemic, and that's pretty scary for a lot of people. Hello, Greg. Thanks for joining. And I have been talking a lot about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that has happened January 12th of 2020. Now, this dance has been going on all of 2019, preparing us for these moments right now. Now, when Saturn moved into Pluto, it was at the end of 2017. So they have been dancing since 2018, and they have progressively gotten closer. Their exact conjunction, January 12th, 2020, has, hi Adrian, thanks for joining, has created this structural systems, government, structure systems, corporations, businesses, everything's run by the three-dimensional reality. The structures of Saturn, which is restriction and karma, and if you want to get anything done, you gotta play by the rules, right? And Pluto is the planet of transformation, destruction. It's the demolition man, right? So this has happened in Capricorn at 23 degrees. Now, I just want to say the last time that this has happened, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn at 23 degrees was in 1774. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because history repeats itself, okay? And that's why we learn history, so we can understand, hopefully, for those that are smart, will not repeat it. So, 1774 was the, it's called the, the Continental Congress, if I'm saying that right. That's when they had a select few making decisions for the mass population. Hence presidency, hence the seats, the representatives, and the political leaders. So that was actually, it started in 1774. So, with that being said, we are actually now seeing that system is not working. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, it's something that was created in 1774, and we've come a long way. We are evolved human beings. We have figured out other systems that actually work, like the blockchain technology, how you have many communities with leaders in those. So it's diversified power, power, not one. I think people call it one world order, but it sounds right. I mean, I don't know the definition of it, but you have one power. And we're seeing how much power our government really has for our own individual lives and nationwide. Okay? Do you see how they could just stop flights? They could shut down your job. They could shut down your schools. So now you guys are all being affected. Those that have mortgages, that maybe you can't get to work, you can't go to work. Or if you can go to work, you have kids and you can't find daycare because of this. So you have to stay home. So now all of a sudden there's a chain of events that has happened. This is the catalyst. The coronavirus is the catalyst for the rebuilding of systems and structures and government systems that are outdated, that aren't working for us anymore. Because if one thing like this can collapse a whole fucking nation and the economy and the stock market, we got a lot of reconsidering to do, especially those of the older generations that have saved up for their retirement and put so much money and belief into their 401k. So, also, I also wanted to point out that in 1774 is shortly after this Pluto-Saturn conjunction that we just had, also had an epidemic of smallpox. And I put all the information in the Wikipedias on my Facebook so you can look at the articles that I'm talking about. So this smallpox was the virus that was later carried to the New World, okay, the U.S., by Europeans during the time of Spanish quests, but the indigenous people from here had no natural resistance to the viruses, and millions of them died during this epidemic. So we're seeing that now. And I've been talking a lot about the new world and the old world, and how the old world is dying and the new world is being born. So for those Spanish and the Native Americans and the indigenous people from this land that we're living in were wiped out. That was their world, and now the old world. And the new world had built upon that after coming to this country, right? So they created the Continental Congress. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because the great thing about our planets in astrology is that they repeat themselves in similar ways, but no way is exactly the same. So there's always a twist or a difference to it. But the thing is history, it coincides with the astrology, the planets, let's just say the astronomy, if you don't believe in astrology. So, or if you don't know what it is. So you just look up, and let's say everyone gets a virus when, let's say, Mars and Pluto conjunct. Let's just say that. And you see it in the sky. People are looking up with their telescopes because you can't see Pluto or whatever. I'm just making this up. And every time they see that conjunction, that happens. That is what astrology is. They're like, oh, we see a trend, we see a pattern, we see history repeating itself, where every time this happens, that happens. So with that being said, this Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened January 12th, 2020 was this in the same area, the same degree of the sky that happened in 1774 when we had that happening, the structures. And now we're seeing them being relooked at. They're being destroyed. And even these kind of viruses, these epidemics, these sicknesses, they usually are pretty on point. They come around every, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. There's dates that we can research that as well. But I just wanted to give you that little tidbit and just something to think about. I actually listened to our president speak on Sky News on my phone, and it just was kind of scary to see everyone that are elite and in power, like the CEO of like Walmart is like saying, don't you worry, we're gonna keep you guys stocked up. It's like, okay, like, I don't know. It's like owning this. It's like this, like how I think is, I really hope it's not like this, where you make and build cars, but you also have control over, let's say, you own all the mechanic shops. So everything could be business, It's like everyone that was somebody that's like has all the power on like our survival in the civilized world here was there. They could just like, it's just so crazy. At a push of a button, a flip of a switch, all hell breaks loose all over the world. Like there's something wrong with that. Like they should not have that much power. So take your power back and do your research and think and use your brain and look at history and look at like the past stuff that has happened and make sure that we don't repeat it again. It's like all I could hear is like all the borders are secured. I'm like, oh great, yeah. I mean, we got Border Man here, like right before the election. It's as though like they just want to freak everyone out and scare everyone into voting for someone. That's how I feel. But anyways, I don't know. And I'm going to look further into our president's chart and really see what's up for him, like what's in store for him as a president. And he has been the catalyst, which I already knew before him even getting in office, that I knew he was going to be the catalyst for change. And whether things were revealed on his intention or just his naivety, or just him being a puppet and like speaking because his Mars is like pretty much ruling his chart. And he speaks before he thinks. So that has got him in trouble with probably the higher ups, but it has revealed a lot to the collective and the people as to the shadiness of the people that are in power. So with that being said, I think I've said enough, and I hope to bring up some more stuff when I do the video, Coffee and Cosmos, either Sunday or Monday. So if you just came in and joined, please rewatch and do some of your own research. This is just literally me sitting down for maybe a half hour, pulling everything up, tying everything together and trying to make sense of what is repeating and why. So it's always darkest before the dawn. Remember that. And things need to get dirty before they get cleaned up. And this is just showing us how much power that the government has and how we need to diversify power with structures and systems in the new world like blockchain technology or cryptocurrencies, where we have networks of people. So if something is fucked up, excuse my language, in a group or a network, it fucks up that network and not the whole. Okay, so that's what diversifying and power. It's like kind of like insurance, right? You don't put all your goods on one ship. You diversify your goods by putting a little bit in 4 different ships. So if one goes down, you're not screwed. So why don't we create a government and a system that is like that, like more like insurance, the way we run that? I don't know. Just my thoughts, and I hope you guys have a wonderful investigative Moon in Scorpio Friday, or get your sexy on because it's hot. It's hot energy. All right, guys. Yeah, stay home and get cozy and curl up with your toilet paper and some Purell.